All right, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to another extra SROS video. Today, I wanted to talk about the LA Lakers. I did recently do a YouTube video on my SROS channel. Hope to check it out about the Chicago Bulls today. So I just got done rewatching the Lakers Spurs NBA Cup quarterfinal game. I did fall asleep right around as the game started. I was kind of dipping in and out of the Suns Thunder game. And I think the Lakers have been one of the more fascinating teams this year because when you look at their record, right? They're 17-7. They were 15-4 at one point, but they're 14th in net rating, 21st in defensive rating, not good, and 7th in offensive rating. And I honestly was kind of going back and forth on where I wanted to rank them this year, because I did recently rank them 5th overall in my updated power rankings on my Sauce channel. But when I did that, I honestly didn't feel comfortable putting them there. And I wonder if this team was worse than their record shows. And I actually said that in this video because I can't really trust the defense. On opening night, when they lost to the Warriors, I said, I don't know if we could trust their bench this year. And I think that has been a glaring issue for LA. And I think they've had some really impressive wins this year. And I don't know if that fully comes down on Luka, Reeves, JJ Redick, because if you remember earlier in the year, Luka goes off against Minnesota, and then they don't basically have Luka for a couple games. LeBron was dealing with sciatica early in the year, and then Austin Reeves turns into prime James Harden, current SGA, and is one of the best scorers in the NBA, and they're able to rattle off wins against good teams. San Antonio, Portland, Miami, Minnesota. They ended up beating Minnesota earlier in the year again. And then you kind of see, okay, them going a nice little run here. LeBron comes back against Utah. They blow them out. They win close. They beat the Clippers, beat the Mavericks, beat the Pelicans, some bottom feeders in the Western Conference. And then Phoenix kind of gives them a run for their money, beats them when Devin Booker only played, I think, 10 minutes in that game. Then they beat the Raptors, really good win. That was when LeBron's 10-point per game streak ended after 17 years. Game-winning assist to Rui Hashimura. Then they get blown out by Boston. And we're like, okay, is LeBron washed? He is 40 years old. Nobody would be shocked if he was washed. That is normal for a 40-year-old. No, he just drops 29, 6-6 against the Sixers. Gets the dagger against them. Then they end up losing to San Antonio. So, I'm kind of going through them in my mind in the Western Conference, right? And I'm a little worried. They are 17-7, and I think them winning games they shouldn't is going to help them down the stretch. We still have so much time left, right? 24 games out of an 82 game season, but I think we can all realize the Lakers do not have that main point of attack defender, that main stopper, that elite defender. And JJ Redick even said that on the coach's corner earlier in the year with Tim Legler, saying we don't have that elite defender. We don't really have elite defenders, but we need to play good team defense. And they kind of use Rui Hashimura as the stick guy out there. And this team currently 21st in defensive rating. You're kind of seeing the cracks in their defense as a whole. And especially when they go up against teams with really athletic wings, against the San Antonio Spurs, you're watching Vassell, Johnson, Champagny, and then Castle and their athletic guards kind of win every single 50-50 ball. And that is going to be crucial in the playoffs. When you're watching 40-year-old LeBron, yeah, he's not athletic anymore, at least to the standards of LeBron James, which is perfectly normal. Luka is not the biggest, the best athlete in the world. He is still a dominant offensive player, still such a crafty scorer. But when you're talking about 50-50 balls, when you need somebody to go make an athletic play, maybe you're not going to really rely on Luka too much in that aspect. And then Austin Reeves didn't really shoot the ball too well last night against the Spurs. He ends up going 6-16. And it's weird too because Reeves, there's some interesting Reeves LeBron numbers when Reeves is so much better when he's the second focus point of this offense. And then it's just you're wondering about him and LeBron going forward. The Lakers have a negative net rating this year in 210 minutes when Reeves and LeBron are sharing the floor. Now, obviously, that can have some external factors. I'm not saying this is an end-all, be-all statistic, but you're kind of looking at some of these numbers here where Reeves is a 9.3 positive net rating when LeBron is off the court. And then if we look at maybe LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, they have a negative 7.1 net rating together this year. That's odd. The Lakers have a plus 20 net rating when you have Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. And obviously, I'm appreciative of what LeBron is this far into his career. But can you rely on LeBron to be a good enough defender? Because Reeves has surpassed LeBron, I think, in the offensive pecking order in LA. So now you need LeBron, yes, to be this point forward type, maybe that Draymond Green type in a way, but you need him to play good defense. And I don't think LeBron is selling out for defense anymore at this point in his career. So now we have 3 non-defenders on the court. DeAndre Ayton has impressed me a ton this year. I was this signing could go horribly wrong. It's still early. Lakers fans can still turn against DeAndre Ayton, but he's not a Rudy Gobert Victor Wembanyama impactful defender. I think he's held his own this year. I think there's been some good moments, some bad moments defensively, but doing all he can with not really having elite help defense on the squad. So now you have like not the best rim protector in the world. You have 3 non-defenders out there, and you're basically asking Rui Hachimura to be your OG Anunoby or your prime Kawhi Leonard or Marcus Smart to be that in someone that's played in the league for over a decade. He's 31 years old. Smart had a good game against the San Antonio Spurs, but he's not like 2022 Defensive Player of the Year. Marcus Smart isn't walking through that door. And there's also a limitation with your main defensive player being Marcus Smart's size, which obviously he's held his own at 6'3", but it's not like we have that OG Anunoby out there that can really guard multiple positions on the perimeter, that can double, and obviously can save all their energy defensively. Like, this team kind of needs that Dillon Brooks, that OG Anunoby, that Herb Jones, which I thought was a perfect fit. I don't think the Pelicans are going to trade with the Lakers. There was like an Athletic report from Dan Wolke, sorry if I'm butchering his name, mentioned that the Pelicans are maybe not even interested in trading Herb Jones, let alone trading him to the LA Lakers. So then you're kind of wondering where this team goes and the identity. And I don't want to like GMify everything, because I've enjoyed watching the Lakers this year, and who really cares about the future sometimes when we get to watch good basketball games? And that's what I care about. I just think those later issues are going to catch up to this team in the playoffs. We saw them be very limited with their big men rotations against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Maybe the worst matchup for them in round 1. Gobert, Randall, Reed were all able to kind of dominate the Lakers inside the paint. Anthony Edwards can get into the paint whenever he wants. And you're looking at this team like, this team's going to get torched defensively at times. And if we're noticing a trend where Reeves and LeBron and Luka, when they're all out there, you're really just having no defense. Reeves' offensive game dips a little bit when he's not creating as much when LeBron is out there. Now we're saying, okay, this could be a complete issue going forward. And LeBron is 40. He's still one of the greatest players in Lakers history. Obviously, could be the GOAT in NBA history. Depends on who you ask. But this is a guy that the Lakers would like to win again for. Even though he might leave in a year, he might retire. Who knows where LeBron is going to be next year in the last year of his contract. He's 40 years old. He might retire for all we know. He might be owning a Vegas team next year for all we know. But if this team is serious about being aggressive this year at the deadline, what are you willing to give up, right? Like, I'm sure this team is very happy trading away expiring contracts like Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent. I'm sure they would dangle Dalton Connect in a trade, as he's kind of gone backwards a little bit since he had a good first like 6 weeks in his rookie career, or in his NBA career last year. You're getting DNPs out of Vando. I'm not sure if there was an injury behind that, but he didn't play last night. Like, Jake Oravia has been like a lot of hot and cold this year. He's not really taken a level up defensively that maybe the Lakers were hoping for at times. He's had his fine offensive moments so far this year. And you're just looking at like Gabe Vincent. They need to upgrade somebody. Like, honestly, if there's nothing on the table, trade Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Maxi Kleber for Chris Middleton or CJ McCollum. We just need to replace these Gabe Vincent minutes, because he has been one of the worst or least effective offensive players in the NBA. I still don't know. I mean, Coach Eric Spoelstra is an absolute wizard getting like elite role-playing ability out of Gabe Vincent, not just in the regular season in 2023, but in the freaking like NBA playoffs. It was unreal. Like, Dalton Connect didn't play. Bronny didn't play. Duthier, like, these guys are getting garbage time. So you're basically running an 8, sometimes 9-man rotation out there. And this could really come back to bite the Lakers. So I mentioned Herb Jones could be such a phenomenal addition to this team. Obviously, getting a Herb Jones player, any team could use, and it's easier said than done. The Lakers don't own like a ton of draft capital. And then you're also wondering too, like, are you in position to trade away future first round picks when you want to kind of just see where everything looks with $50 million off your books and LeBron James in the offseason? So this is a question for this year. Like, are you willing to part ways? You can't really trade your 2026 first. Or maybe you can with the stepping rule. I think you can. You owe your 2029 first in Dallas for the Luka trade. Thank God for you, it's only that 2029 first. So, like, are you willing to part ways with a 2032 first, a 2031 first, unprotected swaps? I think if you're getting like Herb Jones, whose contract gets a little expensive, I don't know if I would love to do that, but then you're really trying to find like a good enough perimeter defender for you out there, trying to like maybe buy low in a guy. But this team needs defense. It needs quantity off its bench. Like, they're getting nothing out of Vanderbilt, Vincent, and Kleber, making up 21% of your cap space. That's a decent amount, and you're just getting nothing out of those guys. Like, it's DeAndre Ayton making $5 million, who maybe wants a payday in the offseason. Like, Marcus Smart is making $5 million. Laravia is making $6 million. Like, those guys have been way more effective, who are ranked like way lower than Vanderbilt, Vincent, and Kleba in terms of your cap hit. And I think that's just like where the Lakers can look to improve this year. Maybe they look to add another big, like maybe Jackson Hayes is just the guy they keep giving like a 1-year deal to moving forward. And I do wonder what they're going to end up doing this year because, yeah, they're good. Like this season could be so much more of a disaster. And now we're hearing LeBron trade rumors, or is this team going to trade away Austin Reeves? Like, no, you have a legitimate co-star to Luka and Austin Reeves. I'm not saying Reeves is better than Kyrie Irving, but we saw how well the Mavericks were off with Kyrie Irving taking a little bit off of Luka Doncic's plate. Once again, not saying Austin Reeves is Kyrie Irving, but he's been very good this year. You can make an argument Reeves this year offensively has been what Kyrie has been. Now, I want to see it in the playoffs. Reeves has struggled against Denver 2 years ago. He struggled against Minnesota this past playoff run. So I do want to just wait and see, right? Like before putting Reeves in the Kyrie terms to being next to Luka. But obviously this team is thinking about the future. The Lakers aren't a bad team. Like there is no shame in winning a playoff series or losing in 6 in round number 1 to the Rockets, the Spurs, the Nuggets. It's just as long as you have LeBron James on your roster, you're going to have that little, like, just an added pressure of trying to win this year before it's all said and done for LeBron. But hey, LeBron's made it to the playoffs like the last couple of years. He's got Luka Doncic by his side. It could be way worse. Like, we all remember how Kobe went out with the Lakers in 2016. It was like the worst team in the NBA, and it was a shame we never really got to see Kobe on a competitive team towards the end of his career, or same with Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas, right? So no shame in going out in round number 1. I said it before with the Lakers, especially when they had Anthony Davis. I didn't want them to like mess up their long-term plans or their future just to like have some near short-term success, just to like maybe go around further in a way. Like if the Lakers traded all their draft capital and stuff around AD and LeBron last year just to lose in round number 2 instead of round number 1, like I don't know if I would have really been on board with that. But right now I think it's okay. We still have so much time left. Guys are going to go through their ebbs and flows. Teams may not look as scary because injuries will happen. It happens every single year. And I do wonder where the Lakers are going to be headed. It's just like their bench isn't good. Their defense isn't good. They have plenty of time to fix it. I just don't know if there's going to be an internal improvement. Like, I'm kind of done with Gabe Vincent. I think we know what Rui Hachimura is. I didn't really talk about Rui as a trade piece, but he is making $18 million. He's an expiring contract, so he has that similar value to like Vando, Vincent, and Kleba. And Rui's better than those guys as well, and he's 27. He does have some like re-signing appeal in the offseason. Like Vincent, Kleba are guys that are like, you're going to let walk or you're going to give a veteran minimum to next year. Like Rui has a chance to be in your rotation going forward, which could be intriguing to a team, especially if they can clear up some 2027 salary. So yeah, the Lakers have plenty of time. We know their defense is bad. We know that their bench definitely needs to be better. And I wonder what direction JJ Redick is going to go in with coaching this roster, what Rob Pelinka is going to do at the deadline. I don't expect them to make no moves. I expect them to make some type of move, because right now when you're talking about the teams in the Western Conference, it's sucks, but OKC's in a completely different tier. They're 24-1. They have a net rating of a 17.2. They could have the best net rating of all time when it's all said and done. I don't think you're beating OKC. So then do you think you can seriously beat Denver, Houston, San Antonio, and maybe Minnesota? Those are most likely the teams around you. Yeah, like it's definitely possible. You have Luka Doncic, you have Reeves. Even LeBron's still been good. So I wonder what direction the Lakers are going to go in. Let me know what you guys think about the Lakers and what direction they can go in down below. Do you think I'm being a little bit too reactionary to like the last week or so? Or do you think this is what we expect the Lakers to be dealing with all year long and maybe even to the postseason? If you guys did enjoy this video, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think down below. And honestly, I'm doing this outro before I was going to answer some of your guys' questions from the last video. So I basically asked you guys in the last video, just type in ask and then a question. You guys can do just like this in this video as well. And then I'm hoping I'll be able to do it for the next video. Sometimes I will pre-record some of these, so I can't always do this. So I really do apologize if I missed your question. And since I might have a bunch of people, like, dude, shout out to Muhammad with a very nice comment. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, we're going to go and see if we say anything here. So like this person asked, do you see Denny at his peak now or could reach superstar level? Will Dame hurt his production when he comes back and become the #1 option? I would say there's like still another level Denny can go. It's been kind of a shame that over the last few weeks, Portland hasn't had like a true guard. I mean, Denny's still incredibly young, and I do think he can get better for sure. I mean, he's got the intangibles, he's got the play style, he's got the physicality. We'll see, like, the three-point shot, like, could that be another layer to his game? I don't think Dame will hurt. I think Dame will only help. I'm not pessimistic about Dame, but, like, I'm not going to pencil him in to, like, or write in with Sharpie that he's going to average 25. Like, he's coming off an Achilles injury at his age, so we'll see what ends up happening. Mahomes says, make a video ranking each NBA team's crowd based on watching it on TV. It's an interesting idea. It's just tough, though, because, like, broadcasts will have, like, different audio mixes. I think you really have to experience a crowd being there. ZN Queen mentions, who's your favorite player currently in all time? Do you like any other sports? Or are you mostly keeping up with basketball? And follow up, what's your fantasy team looking like? So, got a couple questions here. Favorite player all time, Steve Nash. Kind of Chris Paul as well. Currently, it's probably Jalen Brunson as a Knicks fan. But if I had to pick a non-Knick, it's probably like Steph. I've started to appreciate Steph so much as of late. Do I follow any other sports, baseball and basketball? So I follow college basketball, or baseball and football. I'll follow college football, baseball, and college basketball. Not too big into hockey. Not too big into golf or tennis. Like, I'll casually watch those if there's like a major going on or like a major event. But nothing as serious as like college basketball, football, college football, and baseball. Are you most likely keeping up? But yeah, I answered that. And then what's your fantasy team looking like? My dynasty team is looking good. I drafted Cade in the first round. My redraft team, not good. I have Kyrie, which I knew he was hurt. Steph's been hurt. I had Gafford I was dealing with a bunch of injuries. I've had Chet, who dealt with kind of minor injuries here and there. Who's the other guys? I had Aaron Gordon, who's hurt. I've had Kobe White, who's been hurt. And there's another guy I've heard. I've just caught the injury bug. And a lot of like the Derek Queens of the world that have been picked up, I don't really have them anymore. If the NBA expansion happens after the season, who are the best players you think can get unprotected and get picked up by new teams? It'd have to either be like a really deep roster or a really bad contract. Like, I could see Joel Embiid not being protected, Paul George, right? Like those guys and those contracts of the world. So I would probably say Joel Embiid, but I don't know. He means too much to the city. It's a cool idea though. And then like a team that's really good, like Thomas Sorber, Nikola Topic, maybe Aaron Wiggins doesn't get protected by the Thunder, depending on what the protection like limit is out or is at. Thank you, Con, for the nice comment here. I went through most of these too and just kind of like saw the nice ones. So thank you, man. I should do a better job like hearting these. What would it look like if the Jazz decided to build around Lowry and Keontae and commit to competing? Tired of seeing my Jazz lose. Yeah, it's like, are the Jazz ready to use like their decent draft capital and the quantity of young core to build around Lowry and Keontae? Outside those two guys, the next guy that probably has the most trade values is obviously Ace Bailey. And you can make an argument Ace at his ceiling, like what you're projecting, could have more potential than Keontae. It's just like, I don't think we could fully go all in until you know if you have a Peterson, a Boozer, or Debanza in the draft. But does this team look to add a point guard? Are you intrigued about Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, one of those guys around Markkanen and Keontae? I don't know. It just sucks Walker Kessler got hurt. I think you have like 4 good pieces of Kessler, Ace, Keontae, and Lowry. And then you have like the quantity that's had its moments with Filipowski, Sensabaugh, not as much with Hendricks and like Collier. So we'll see what ends up happening. Hopefully for you guys, this is the last year you guys tank. When did YouTube become a full-time gig from a side hobby, and how did you go about transitioning into it? I left my job at JP Morgan in January of 2024. I think I said I was putting in, because I was in a rotation, so I put in like my 2 months instead of 2 weeks in November of 2023. November of 2023. I started January of 2022. And transitioning was a little tough. It felt weird. Definitely some like imposter syndrome throughout it as well. Some like, did I make the right choice? I still don't know if I made the right choice. I think I did. And I'm living like I did. I just always don't know how much longer I'll do this unless there's something that like secure comes down the line. But I'm 26. I'm still fairly young. I think whenever I have like a really big responsibility, which you can probably guess what responsibility that is, then I'll be a little bit worried about maybe doing this full time. Not because it's not like rewarding right now, it's just because of the unknown in the future. But transitioning into it, like, I think I was just kind of doing what I was doing, now just being able to do it more often, which was really nice. And I wasn't stressing about like, I remember right before I left, I think it was January of 2024, Terry Rozier got traded to the Heat, and I was like, damn, like I can't really talk about anything. It was like early in the workday. I'm sitting there kind of in like my office or in the office, and it's nice to be able to talk about things like quicker and have more ideas and be able to do a freaking 5th channel like this. Like, people say you have too many, like you have so many channels. I mean, this is my full-time job, so I have time, and I think it's another outlet to just be a little bit more real with you guys. Where do you rank John Wall and Bradley Beal's Wizards among some of the best teams of the 2010s? Like, these questions are kind of tough to do on the spot. I mean, it's probably not as high as you would want it to be just because they peaked at around 2 exit to the Celtics. So I'm sorry, man. Would you ever want to be an analyst or like work in traditional NBA media, like have your own show or something? Is that a goal? If not, what's your biggest goal you're trying to reach? I guess that would be the end goal. I think that is really cool. Obviously working for a network is dope. I can't formally announce it, but like I've done a lot of stuff for Enjoy, which has appeared on NBC's like Instagram, and they like retweeted a bunch of stuff because of the Enjoy NBC partnership. So that's been cool. I'm hoping one day that this could parlay into, yeah, maybe an analyst position for a network or something like that, which I think is also really cool because that's not a conflict of interest, and you could still have your own podcast or your own YouTube channel and still doing that as long as you're putting your effort into that first. So I think that is the end goal. I think that'd be really cool. And we'll see one day if it happens. I think I need to work on some things to be a little bit better at. I think it's maybe talking in certain segments. I think what I do a lot is sometimes it is scripted, but sometimes it's kind of me rambling, yapping a little bit. And I think I need to be a little bit better with talking in 4 to 5 minute segments or 3 to 4 minute segments and having it be clear and concise, which if I wanted to work in traditional media, I think that is the goal. Is there a move or maybe multiple moves that you think boost Atlanta into contention for winning the East? It feels like they're close, but are still missing something. I mean, I want to see this team with Trae Young. So we'll see what ends up happening when Trae Young comes back, how the team looks. I'm intrigued about the Anthony Davis trade if it's literally Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Kennard, and like not your really good first round pick, and it's like 2 okay first rounders. I'm intrigued about Anthony Davis with this team playing center, but also Okongwu being a little bit of a floor spacer. Like, okay, we can roll both of them out there. I don't think they're going to land Giannis. I don't think Giannis gets traded at the deadline. So I would say Anthony Davis, but you're really rolling the dice if Anthony Davis is going to be healthy. Which one of the rumored available point guards do you think will be the most impactful? Ja, LaMelo, Trae, Harden. I would say the most impactful this year, James Harden. Long-term, Trae Young. I'm not out on LaMelo Ball, but I do think Ja Morant is still a better player than LaMelo Ball. I think Ja's numbers are going to look really good when he gets back. It sucks that like Ja got hurt while his numbers were horrible and he got off to a bad start. And people always, I think, make a bigger deal if you had a bad start to the year, like a bad 8 games at the start, then you have a bad 8-game stretch in January. So we'll see what ends up happening. This used to be on... what am I doing here? What do you think of Danny Wolf so far, and what do you think his ceiling could be? I think he's been pretty good, Danny Wolf. I know that's not really groundbreaking analysis, but he's looked solid. He looks very shifty out there, I would say, a little bit more shifty than I thought coming out of Michigan. What his ceiling is, I don't think he's ever going to be like a guy you're building around. Could he be like a floor spacing 5? Yes. The defense was always an issue, I think, coming out of Michigan, and I think will be an issue in the NBA. But if he's going to be a good enough 3-point shooter, and with his ball handling ability, like that has a role in the league for a long time in the front court. Outside of Giannis, could you see a top 20 player getting traded at the deadline, like we saw last season with Luka? If you're looking at like the guys, the only guy I can think of that would be considered a top 20 guy, I would say it was Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard, I could see getting traded this year. If you don't view Markkanen or Sabonis or anybody like that, right? Or Ja, obviously not anymore. So I would say Kawhi. He's been playing well recently, and the Clippers aren't getting much better. Who should the Raptors target at the trade deadline, and what do you think a good package will be? I don't want them to make anything near like short-sighted. I don't hate the idea of James Harden in Toronto, especially if the Clippers are interested about Quickly or RJ Barrett. They might be more interested in Barrett, which I'd probably lead with Quickly first. I would try to get off the Jakob money. I didn't love the extension, and it's not been paying off too well this year. If you were a Wizards fan, what would you view as a successful long-term plan? Who stays, who goes, who becomes a focus point outside of a rebuild from SAR? I think Trey Johnson and Keyshawn George will be the main guys. If Bilal does not improve offensively over the next year, it's hard to justify that. This obviously changes completely if they land a top 3 pick in the draft. I wouldn't hate the idea of going after Trae Young. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it, but I wouldn't hate it. What's your favorite part about your fan base, and how do we motivate you? I found you through your 2K content in 2018, and you quickly became one of my favorites. Thank you for all your content. Appreciate that, Matthew. That definitely means a lot. Great name. I think like you guys just being so like, I don't know, like down to earth. It seems like you guys are very chill. You guys keep interacting with my content. I mean, I don't get 0 views on videos, so I know that at least some people out there do enjoy it. It's giving me a chance to do this full time which is obviously a dream and obviously a goal. And I think like when I was younger, and obviously when you're smaller, I think you appreciate every comment that comes through. And I think maybe I wish I've done a better job over the years. I think replying to more comments, realizing that when I got a comment when I was 15 in 2015, I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And now I'm like, I get a bunch of comments every day, and I think I need to appreciate that a little bit more. And I do, but I think I need to, just do a job individually to each comment and the good ones. And sometimes I'll get a bad comment here and there, or I'll see something mean on Twitter. And I'm pretty good at like not letting it affect me. It might affect me for a half an hour and then I'll forget about it. And I usually don't reply to like mean comments because I'm like, now I'm giving them what they wanted. So I never reply to mean comments, and I think that helps. And I think that's what everybody should do. But yeah, I would say that you guys have just been pretty nice and rewarding to me. And I'm very thankful for you guys interacting and giving me a platform to talk about sports. Once again, I don't know if it's because of my full-time job or I'm older, but I just got to remember like 18-year-old Matt would think this is the coolest shit ever. So I'm very appreciative. Who's in the league right now? Do you think we'll have a breakout year later this season? But guys that aren't on the radar, Rollins and Gillespie would have been great answers to this last season. I would have to like think about like 2As and G League guys right now. I want Kevin McCullough to play more for the Knicks, but I feel like that's kind of lame to go with somebody on my Knicks. I don't know. Like, that's tough. Like, Jamari Bouya has been really good for the Suns, but he's kind of like already broken out. And not like broken out, but is in the rotation. Like, shout out to Spencer Jones. I don't really have a good answer for that off the top of my head, because I don't want to just say somebody just to say somebody. Like, oh, Nikola Jurisic in Atlanta. Probably not going to play this year. How do you see Spanish basketball future? Hugo Aldama de Lara, Saint Super 8. Sorry if I butcher his name. And Ade Mara. I'm from Spain. I mean, it's not going to be what it was with the Gasals and Ibaka and what you guys had and Rubio, but I think it could be competitive. Like, that's a solid team. We'll see how Delaria develops, and you named like 3 guys not in the NBA, so we gotta have to wait and see on that a little bit, but I do think it's on the way up for sure, because these guys are young, and think about them in the 2032 Olympics. We could be cooking with that. What are your thoughts on Orlando's potential trade package for Giannis, including Paolo Banchero picks and salary filler? I'm intrigued. I don't know who says no first. I think if you're Milwaukee and you're getting offered Paolo to build around for Giannis, you say yes. I think Orlando, just because of the age difference, backs out a little bit. I think for these going forward, I don't know if I'm going to answer every single NBA one, because these may come up in future videos. I kind of thought I was going to do more personal ones, to be honest with you. So do you think the Pelicans can finally cave in and deal Trey Murphy? They might. Kuminga picks, like, does that excite you though? I need like 3 first-round picks at the minimum, maybe on top of that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about making that a little bit longer than it was. I don't know if I'm gonna answer just personal ones or sports ones, because obviously I can't get to every sports question and try to get these out daily for you guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Drop a thumbs up if you did, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.